Welcome to this Miles by Foot tour of Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International Airport, code FLL. FLL is the 18th busiest airport in the United States, and is the third busiest in Florida, behind Orlando and nearby Miami, just 20 miles away. FLL has a large, low-cost carrier presence as an operating base for both Spirit and Allegiant, and as a focus city for JetBlue. Traffic at FLL fluctuates throughout the year, with dips during the fall hurricane season and a swell during the winter and spring when northern birds fly south for the sun and sand. FLL captures the vibe of a tropical Floridian airport, and its long-standing presence in the region makes it a common starting point for traveling locals or as a destination or transfer point for out-of-towners to continue their own adventure. If you like videos about airports and aviation, please consider subscribing to Miles by Foot. This video was filmed in the fall of 2024, and although the airline, terminal information, and prices in this video are accurate as of September 2025, it's subject to change, especially as seasonal destinations come and go. Check the top comment for updates. Let's explore FLL. FLL serves 25 airlines, providing service to around 135 destinations across the Americas. These airlines are served by 4 terminal buildings numbered 1 through 4. Only 3 and 4 are connected to each other airside. But, except for Air Canada, all airlines are limited to a single airside area, so connections between 2 flights on the same airline should never require leaving security. Each is located along Terminal Drive, so transferring between unconnected terminals is still easy. Let's start with the larger connected terminals and their airlines first. Terminals 3 and 4 are both home to Spirit Airlines, who offer service to more than 60 destinations, some of which are seasonal to welcome crowds for winter and spring break. Terminal 4, in particular, is almost entirely dedicated to Spirit, with its 14 G gates stretching a quarter mile along its length. This terminal is one of the newest at FLL, and it contains several specialty and duty-free shops, restaurants, and newsstands. There's also rocking chairs providing a view of the apron, and the many yellow and black Airbuses that deliver and collect Spirit's passengers. Spirit has the most departures of any airline at FLL by a considerable margin, making up nearly 1/3 of the airport's weekly flights. During the prime season, it serves the New England, Mid-Atlantic, and Midwest markets with the most flights as travelers escape dreary northern winters. But Spirit's most ambitious services connect travelers to 24 destinations across the Caribbean, Central, and South America as of early 2026. Spirit even connects to 3 other airports in Florida. Terminal 3 has 2 departure halls containing the E and F gates, which are connected to each other and to Terminal 4 by an airside walkway filled with paintings and photographs that I'll show off in my unnarrated walking video of FLL, made by the employees who work at the airport, capturing their passion for their work and the art they create. Terminal 3 is home to one of FLL's other major players, JetBlue, who use both departure halls in the terminal, and a few G gates in Terminal 4. JetBlue operates a little under 20% of FLL's flights, second behind Spirit, bringing in 22 destinations across the continental United States. JetBlue also serves 12 destinations in the Caribbean, South, and Central America. Terminals 3 and 4 are also home to several international carriers as of September 2025, including Air Transat, with year-round service to Toronto, Quebec City, and Halifax, increasing in the winter, and Western Air's daily service to Freeport and Nassau in the Bahamas. Terminal 3 shares its E-gates with several airlines, including international carriers like Azul Brazilian Airlines, serving Belém and São Paulo Campinas. El Al service to Tel Aviv several times a week, Flair's near-daily flight to Toronto, and Porter Airlines' daily flight to Montreal, and twice-daily service to both Ottawa and Toronto Billy Bishop. Terminal 3 hosts American Airlines, the smallest of the big 3 at FLL thanks to their nearby base in Miami. They serve Charlotte and Dallas the most, with at least 4 daily flights, followed by at least 2 daily services to Philadelphia, LaGuardia, and Washington National, and a daily service to Chicago O'Hare. There's neither an Admirals Club nor a Partner Club at FLL, so plan ahead if you're using American. On that note, Terminal 3 does contain an escape lounge, open to all travelers who have flights booked for departure in the next 3 hours for $45 when booked ahead, or $55 at the door, with accompanying children 3 and under entering free. Other U.S. airlines also use Terminal 3, including Sun Country, flying several times a week to their hub in Minneapolis, and Avelo, connecting FLL to their base in New Haven nearly every day, and to both Wilmington, North Carolina and Wilmington, Delaware, no relation, twice weekly. Breeze Airways will begin service in December 2025, twice weekly to and from both Akron, Ohio, and Wilmington, North Carolina, but it hasn't announced yet which terminal they'll use. Both Terminals 1 and 2 aren't connected to any other terminal airside, only by walking or shuttling between them on the land side, though there are plans to connect to Terminal 2 in the future. Terminal 2 houses 3 airlines, Delta, Air Canada, and WestJet. Delta is second of the big 3, just behind United, and they serve 11 destinations. Not bad for not being a hub. Air Canada serves 4 Canadian destinations, including twice daily service to Montreal and Toronto, and daily service to Quebec City and the country's capital, Ottawa. Note that if you're on a Star Alliance ticket, arriving or departing on a United flight, or if you're going to Ottawa from FLL, you'll need to leave security to go to Terminal 1, which United and the Air Canada flight to Ottawa use. WestJet travels to Toronto at least once daily, with less frequent service to Calgary, and a weekly service to Winnipeg and Vancouver. Terminal 2 is the most compact terminal at FLL, with 9 gates and a single departure hall. Still, Delta maintains a Sky Club here, to the right after you clear security, between gates D2 and D3. Terminal 1 is home to everyone else, including Southwest, United, Alaska, Avianca, Allegiant, Copa, Bahamasair, and Caribbean Airlines, who just moved to Terminal 1 this year. United, the busiest of the big 3 and third overall at FLL, serves 7 destinations, each with at least 2 daily services during the winter months, including 9 daily flights to Newark, 6 to Houston Intercontinental, 5 to Denver, 4 to Chicago O'Hare, 3 to Washington Dulles, and 2 each to San Francisco and Cleveland. There's a United Club at the entrance to the Sea Gates. Southwest is 5th for departures, just behind Delta, with just under half of their 24 destinations served daily, with Baltimore, Nashville, and Chicago Midway sporting the most flights. Allegiant calls FLL an operating base, and like Spirit, they have a wide variety of destinations, 30 in all, although most are only served a couple times a week, except for Knoxville and Asheville, just 2 hours apart from each other by road. Folks in the Smokies and the Blue Ridge must really love coming down here. Alaska serves 3 of its focus cities and hubs with a daily service, and Avianca's 2 airlines serve Medellin, Bogota, and San Salvador with daily service, and Managua, Nicaragua with at least 2 daily flights. Copa's near daily service to Panama City departs from this terminal, along with Bahamasair flying to Nassau and Freeport at least once daily. Frontier has a toehold here with daily service to Atlanta and Long Island Islip, and several weekly flights to Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. Finally, Caribbean Airlines, unusually a flag carrier to 2 different countries, flies daily to Kingston and Montego Bay in Jamaica, and several times a week to Port of Spain in Trinidad and Tobago. Silver Airways operated a hub at FLL for years until they ceased operations in June 2025. Each landside terminal has baggage claims on the first floor for the airlines that use that terminal, and you can walk out from there to get picked up by family or friends, or to the parking garages in the center. Outside, around Terminal Drive, you'll find zones for the mode of transportation you need, but we'll come back to that because it's a bit complicated. The car rental center at FLL is located across from Terminal 1, accessible via walkway from that terminal or from each terminal in the airport via shuttles that stop outside each baggage claim. The facility contains nearly all rental car providers at the airport, and directions and phone numbers to those off-site. After completing your paperwork, your rental car can be found in the attached garage. The number 1 Broward County Transit bus serves the airport with their orange, yellow, and white striped buses. The bus stop is directly outside the rental car garage on the upper level. The ride to the central bus terminal takes about 20 minutes and leaves once every 20 to 30 minutes, costing $2 for adults or $1 for seniors. All 4 terminals have a taxi stand outside and to the left on the ground floor. Besides that, there are 4 ground transportation areas, 3 between the terminals and 1 beyond Terminal 4. Ride-sharing is between Terminals 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, and if you check your app, it may mention stations. The first 7 stations are at the first area, between Terminals 1 and 2, and stations 8 through 13 are between 3 and 4. All transportation areas have shuttle stops for the airport shuttle, which can move you around terminals, and most have hotel and off-site parking. Check with the shuttle provider to be sure you know where they stop. Buses for cruises, charter buses, or long-distance buses meet between Terminals 1 and 2, and 2 and 3. If you're connecting to Florida's Tri-Rail, a free shuttle can collect you from each transportation area and take you to the station nearby. And there's a Brightline shuttle as well that takes you to Fort Lauderdale's Brightline station for $10. If you're arriving and parking at FLL, there are 3 garages: Cypress, which is attached to the rental car center, Hibiscus, and Palm. Upper levels of each garage are used for long-term parking and run $20 a day, while curbside valet runs $30 a day. Shuttles will help get you to and from the garage and the terminals. Chances are, if you find yourself at FLL, you'll have family, friends, or the beach on your mind, but I hope you take a moment to enjoy the airport that's helped you get there and will take you home. FLL has the advantage of being a busy airport that doesn't always feel like it, with lots of ways to connect you to your final destination. Regardless of the reason, I hope you found this tour useful as you consider your next journey. This trip took a bit of a weird turn on me, so I'll publish a shorter, unnarrated walk of FLL before moving on to this trip's final airport, and I bet you can guess where. Until then, thanks for watching, and keep moving forward.